Today, I'll be talking about Ries and his groundbreaking approach called the Lean Startup Method. This method has revolutionized how startups build products and grow efficiently by focusing on rapid experimentation and validated learning. It's all about minimizing waste and maximizing value, so entrepreneurs can create successful businesses faster and with less risk. The real problem startups face is that they often invest months and significant resources into products based on intuition that isn't verified, which creates invisible risks that can be very costly. The scientific proposal to address this is to treat every decision as a controlled experiment. That means formulating clear hypotheses, designing tests, and measuring objective results to truly understand what works. By doing this, the expected result is a much shorter learning cycle and the ability to make decisions grounded in empirical evidence rather than guesswork or assumptions. Market uncertainty demands this kind of scientific rigor because most companies fail not from a lack of effort, but because they build things nobody wants. The Lean Startup Method emphasizes treating every assumption about customers, products, or business models as a testable hypothesis, never as a given truth. At the heart of the Lean Startup Method is the Build, Measure, Learn cycle, which is all about turning intuition into real, actionable data. Rather than spending too much time planning upfront, teams create minimal versions of their product to quickly test ideas. Then, they measure how the market actually responds, and learn from those results to improve and iterate. This process isn't just a straight line. It's an ongoing loop where each cycle generates validated knowledge that helps reduce uncertainty and guides the team closer to a sustainable business model. The MVP, or minimum viable product, is all about minimum effort with maximum information. It's important to understand that an MVP is not a cheap or low-quality product. Instead, it's the smallest version of a product that lets us test a crucial hypothesis with real customers. The goal here isn't to make immediate money, but to learn as quickly as possible. Unlike a prototype, the MVP must be fully functional and deliver real value, even if it's limited in scope. For example, an MVP could be a simple landing page before any software development, a manual service that mimics future automation, an explanatory video to gauge interest, or a product with just one key feature activated. Remember, this is not the final product, so we only include the features needed to validate our main assumption. This approach helps us focus our efforts and avoid unnecessary work early on. Validated learning is all about moving beyond empty numbers to gain real, actionable insights. Ries highlights the difference between vanity metrics, like total downloads or social media followers, that may look impressive but don't actually help us understand if the business is working. Instead, we focus on exploitable metrics such as retention rates and payment conversions, which give us meaningful data to make informed decisions. To prove causality, we use controlled experiments like A/B testing and structured interviews, isolating variables to confirm what really drives our success. When we talk about innovation accounting, we're really focusing on how to measure real progress, especially in startups during the model discovery phase. Traditional financial metrics like total revenue or just counting registered users don't give us the full picture. For example, total revenues without understanding how customers were acquired or the number of users without knowing if they're active don't work well. Also, chasing unrestrained growth or celebrating product milestones without customer validation can be misleading. What truly matters are metrics like conversion rate over time, comparing customer acquisition cost against lifetime value, and how quickly a team can iterate and learn from each cycle. Most importantly, progress is measured by how well the startup validates its critical hypotheses. Innovation accounting pushes teams to prove that every investment delivers useful knowledge, not just activity or vanity metrics. This way, we're measuring impact, not just output. Here we focus on a crucial decision point in the Lean Startup Method, whether to persevere or pivot. When the actionable metrics indicate steady progress toward our key hypotheses, it's a signal to persevere and continue executing our current plan with only minor adjustments. However, if the data reveals that our central hypothesis is incorrect, it's time to pivot. This means changing a fundamental element, like the segment, channel, or value proposition, while still protecting the overall vision but adjusting our strategy accordingly. The most important takeaway here is that this decision must be based on solid evidence gathered through experiments, not just instinct. And remember, a pivot is not a failure, it's a valuable outcome of validated learning that helps us redirect resources toward a real opportunity. When we work in large batches, developing for months without client feedback, we build up an invisible risk that can be costly to fix later. Small batches help us catch errors early, when they're still cheap to fix. This way, we avoid wasting resources and speed up learning. By doing this, we actually turn risk into a competitive advantage and reduce the cost of failure. Adopting a culture of continuous experimentation is key to successfully implementing the lean startup method. This isn't just about following a process, it requires a deep cultural shift where teams focus on validating ideas rather than defending them. Psychological safety and intellectual humility are essential, along with systems that reward learning, not just success. We start by formulating explicit hypotheses. Every initiative begins with a clear, written, falsifiable hypothesis instead of a detailed execution plan. Then, teams design quick experiments that are low cost and fast, allowing them to test ideas before committing significant resources. It's important to share results openly and honestly, without filtering. Failure is seen as organizational learning rather than something to hide. Finally, iterations happen without unnecessary bureaucracy, shortening decision cycles so that learning translates into action quickly. This approach keeps the team agile and continuously improving. The agile mindset offers a sustainable competitive advantage by turning uncertainty into a powerful driver of innovation. Organizations using the lean startup method learn faster than their competitors, making speed a critical edge. Instead of planning endlessly, they act quickly and adapt based on real feedback, which reduces waste by validating ideas before fully committing resources. Decisions are made through iteration and data, not guesswork or intuition. This approach can triple learning speed and reduce waste by up to 70%. As the saying goes, we do not fail for lack of effort, but by building what no one wants. Applying the scientific method to business turns risk into valuable knowledge, and that knowledge into lasting advantage. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. I appreciate the opportunity to share these insights with you.